Would you like to know my feelings about this fantastic classic fragrance, Obsession for Men? Well, please stick around. I'll see you inside. Hello! Okay, my lovely ladies and handsome gents, today I have a very special fragrance, Obsession for Men. This was my husband's number one fragrance. Oh yeah. It smells warm and sexy and friendly and nice. It doesn't smell like you can't trust it. It doesn't smell like it's gonna do you dirty. It smells really nice. And it just still smells really great. Love it. It's warm and it's like vanilla-y. I think it's they call it a woody amber fragrance. You know, we didn't have such cut and dried things back in the day when I was working behind the counter I worked behind the counter for men's fragrances, women's fragrances, and then I also worked as a rep where I ran around different stores for 2 different companies, and I also worked for 2 different cosmetic companies. I worked for Christian Dior behind the counter and also another company, Ultima 2, behind the counter. So I had a bit of experience, but that was a long, long time ago when I was I started when I was 19 and I ended working in that industry when I was 29. But I also, in and out, worked in other things, like I worked as a singer and I worked in the film industry and I did a lot of other stuff too. And I worked as a temp, an office temp. So I did do a lot of stuff besides working in the film industry. Besides working in cosmetics and fragrance. But yeah, now I'm just here. I love fragrances, and so it's fun for me. So continuing on with Obsession for Men. Yes. All right. It was launched in 1986. It's an amber woody. The nose is Robert Slattery. Robert Slattery. Let's see. All right. Couple of interesting things some people said about this fragrance. I don't know if you ever go and look at Fragrantica, but that's where I get a lot of my lists and stuff, and they just they'll keep you busy for the rest of your life on that website. If you're into fragrances, it's like, oh my gosh, and they have all these contributors, and they all sound so everything they have to say about these fragrances, it's so eloquent. You can tell everyone who's there feels these fragrances. And so if you don't know Fragrantica, you probably do, but if you don't, check it out. So from Fragrantica, a couple people, I like to read what people's reviews are, individual reviews of fragrances. And someone named Andy Candy said, or Andy Candy 1 said, it reminds them of Fireball whiskey and is a great winter scent for an older gent. I don't know. Maybe my husband's older than this guy, or Andy Candy. I don't know. I mean, probably. My husband was around, when the original one came out. So, yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Fireball whiskey. Have you ever had Fireball whiskey? I think I've had Fireball whiskey a couple times. It's that one that tastes like a cinnamon candy? Isn't that the one? I don't know. Do you know? Go ahead and write down below. Write down below if you know. And do you know of any fragrances that remind you of alcoholic beverages? I think that's kind of interesting. Okay. And then someone else, they called themselves Stinky. They said they felt both men and women can use it, and that they layer it with women's obsession as well. So, okay. So, Obsession for Men. Oh yes, this one. All right. What do you say? What does it smell like? Oh well, I've got you covered. Here's my top 10, what it smell like? Just in case you're not familiar with Obsession for Men. You probably are, maybe you're not. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Top 10, what's it smell like? Okay. You know, there weren't as many votes for the men's fragrance in this case as there were generally for women's fragrances, but number 10 with, you know what? No. So I'm gonna try to do this right this time. All right. Number 10 with 5 votes was Perry Ellis Men Anniversary Edition. And I looked at the bottle. It looks like the original Perry Ellis, which when I worked for Oscar de la Renta, I also had Perry Ellis fragrances. Even though Oscar de la Renta was our main line, we also had some Van Cleef and Arpels fragrances first. We had Perry Ellis Men, Perry Ellis 360. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't. I get them mixed up sometimes, but yeah. So, but Perry Ellis, man, if this is supposed to smell like classic Perry Ellis, I can see how Perry Ellis and Obsession for Men are kind of similar. So I wonder if this new reissue smells like the old one. That was one, you know, I really liked that one. So I showed it a lot, and actually I think I remember selling quite a bit of it. But anyhow, so all right. So that was number 10, right, with 5 votes. Yes. Okay. Now, number 9 with 11 votes from Yves Rocher, a fragrance called Venice from Yves Rocher. Venice from Yves Rocher. Don't know that one, but I love Yves Rocher. Are you familiar with Yves Rocher? You should go check them out because they've got a lot of really nice stuff, and it's actually it's really well priced. I don't think you'll be disappointed with the prices and with the products. The products are really nice, and I've tried their soaps, their lotions, their fragrances, their skincare. I've tried tons and tons of their stuff, and I really love it. Okay, so yeah, so that is Yves Rocher. Okay. All right. Here we go now. Here we go. All right. Next one, Jovan Sex Appeal. Do you know Jovan Sex Appeal? I don't know that one, but it got 14 votes. Jovan Sex Appeal. People thought it smelled like Obsession for Men. I believe it. I don't know if I've ever smelled that one. It seems like I might have, but I don't recall. All right. And then with 15 votes, we have Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Francis Kurkdjian. Grand Soir with 15. 15, yeah. Okay. Right, okay. I confuse myself so easily. Okay, I think I'm okay. Alright. Next up, we have, with 18 votes, Pierre Cardin pour Monsieur. So I think that's the original Pierre Cardin, because they showed the bottle and it was the one with the little ball top, looks like a microphone. And I don't remember caring for that, to be honest with you. I didn't care for that one. There's another one. I forget, but yeah, I wasn't crazy about that one. So no, I wouldn't really say. It might be in the same family, but I don't really remember. I must have put it out of my head because I'm sure someone wore it at some point in my life, but I don't remember who, and I don't have like a real fond memory of it for some reason. Also, like Ralph Lauren Chaps, I don't have a good memory of that fragrance. I don't care for that one at all. I mean, nothing against it if you do, but it's just one. I love lots of Ralph Lauren fragrances, but not that one. Okay, here we go. Okay, moving on. Now, I think this is number 5 with 16 votes. I know this one really, really well. P.S. by Paul Sebastian. Because when I worked in women's fragrances, When I worked in both women's and men's fragrances, I represented at one point Paul Sebastian fragrances for women, and then I represented Paul Sebastian fragrances for men. And so I really got to know a lot of their fragrances. And the original Paul Sebastian is a really nice fragrance. It's a warm, sensuous. I think it's a really nice masterpiece, and I would say that it is in the same family as Obsession for Men. I would try that one if you like those warm. They're very snuggly. It's a snuggly, sensuous fragrance, like Obsession for Men. Snuggly. Okay, so that was 16. Okay, now it goes up quite a bit to, here's another Calvin Klein. Number 4, Dark Obsession from Calvin Klein with 41 votes. Do you know Dark Obsession? I do not. Feel free to write down below anything you want, It helps me. But also, too, why not? Why not? You just want to blurb something down there. I'll answer. I'm just thankful people are watching anything. Or I'm thankful, I'm one of those senior citizens now where I just want to share everything that ever happened to me with you nice people. Anybody who will listen, hey, do you want to hear about when I used to work in makeup? No? Hey, do you want to hear about when I used to work in perfume? No? Well, all right then, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Aha, thank you so much. All right, moving on. Okay, that was Dark Obsession from Calvin Klein. It was number 4 with 41 votes. Okay, now we move up to one I know really well, another one that we sold behind the counter. Back in the day, I don't remember exactly, I think it might have been, for this one it was probably the 90s. I don't think it was the 80s. I think it was the 90s, but I don't know for sure. Passion for Men from Elizabeth Taylor with 42 votes. That one is a warm, sensuous, but it's sweeter. It's a sweeter men's fragrance. I really liked it. That and the women's version. I have a funny story to tell you actually about Elizabeth. You know what? I'll save that for another video. I've got lots of stories. Okay. Passion for Men from Elizabeth Taylor, 42 votes. Okay. Now we only got 2 more. One I don't know and one I know very well. Okay. Number 2 of fragrances that, what's it smell like? What smells like Obsession for Men? One of my husband's very top fragrances. Still. But you know what? No, it's not the top still. It's not exactly the top, but it's still a very enjoyable one that he wears. Okay. Musc Ravageur. Musc Ravageur. M-U-S-C Ravageur from Frédéric Malle with 53 votes. Musc Ravageur, Frédéric Malle with 53 votes. I know the light looks better on my face when I'm up here. The light helps so much. Can you see the top? And one more one. I gotta put on more upbeat music. Alright, now ladies and gentlemen, number 1. You know this one probably. Actually, you might not know this one. You youngins might not know this one all that well. But it is a very, very famous fragrance. It's like the famous men's fragrance. It's the famous men's fragrance. Lagerfeld. Oh yes, Lagerfeld. Still sexy. Lagerfeld for men. Oh yeah. That's another one my husband wears. So, what do you think? Do you know Obsession for Men? Do you think of something else that smells like Obsession for Men? It's your world here. Write it. Okay, and I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, you lovely ladies and handsome gents, for visiting me again on my channel, Talk to the Hand Reviews, and for my little review on one of my husband's favorites, and one of my favorites from him, Obsession for Men. I hope to see you next time.